I watch them tourist women too. They love to do it.
Like, I don't even know where because I make mine with my drinks. I make them with the measuring cups. She eyeballs hers.
Right.
I just had to eyeball this, but I'm like, where'd you move the measuring cups to? Like, why would they have to be moved?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Women, I feel like it's deeper than that, where women feel like it's their territory. Like in that aspect, it's like, well, whatever I say goes in the placement of things because I'm the organizer. I'm the one who, structures the inside of the home, how it looks, the feng shui down to, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one who's cleaning. You know what I'm saying? All that. So it's like their territory where it's like, you're going to go where I say this stuff is going to go. You're not about to make the rules.
Then act annoyed when you be like, where's this at? I'd be like, it was here. So, like, don't be annoyed at all. Like,
Does she ever like wash your cup or put it in the dishwasher when you're not even through with it yet?
she usually asks because I have a little side table in my room and
Okay.
she'll see that I still got some stuff. But my mom does that. As a matter of fact, she did it last weekend. We was at my granny's
Yeah.
birthday party. I still had like that much Henny left in my cup. I'm looking for it. And then I realized she's cleaning up. I was like, did you throw my cup away? I'm sorry, baby. Nah, where my Henny at?
Right. Come on, bro. Pull me up.
Run me my Henny. My Henny bottle run out. I'm gonna be like, I could have had that little
Right.
bit.
I could have that little bit. You still thinking about that little bit you missed. That's an athlete mind right there. You just ran for 150, but you'd be like, damn, I could have ran for 175. That's what they got me.
Yep. They got me up. Think that's my best.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, thank you for coming back to the number one, the number two, and the number three fastest growing podcast in the tri-state area, Kentuckiana, Louisvilliana. You feel me? I am Mark J of NR, and NR is New Rand, and this is my man,
Raw. The mocking the man.
Mike and the man himself. I'm saying,
Yeah. Drink to that.
drink to that. They're like, you starting off like that? He's wild.
Yep.
He's wild.
You already know.
So,
YN might make an appearance.
yeah. They ready for YN. I don't know when he's gonna come back, but he's definitely gonna come back. And then even before we start out, shout out to Kalen. Shout out to his squad. Shout out to the hats they just dropped. Shipped it to me. Appreciate it. Louisville, baby. Nice little derby hat. You see the 502 with the rose. You feel me? You see the jockey silk with the logo on it. So shout out, gang. He's inspired. You can still go get them. You can find them on Twitter, Instagram at Kale Alexander. I think the one on Twitter is 2 R's with an underscore behind it. But yeah, not hard to find. And go support local. That's what I love coming up here. You probably see my take care of home. He's a forester, and they in business together too. So shout out the gang.
I should have got me one when you got you one because at first Maya's party colors we were gonna wear black and gold.
Right.
So I actually got a official Derby hat, like the Derby 151, because it's black and gold.
Right.
But I think we're gonna rock some red extended stuff with our stuff. So I got this hat just so it would come quickly because I didn't know and it was very cheap. It's just like this red hat with the horse on it, and I was able to put like my own words on it. But if I would have known from the beginning that this is what we was gonna wear, I would have got that for sure.
Yes,
Might still give me
sir.
one.
Yeah, might
Just
just
to have
slide.
it
Yes.
for
Yeah,
sure.
support the local creatives. Support the local creatives. All right, shit. So what you want to do? What you want to hop into this early? What's just on your mind, bro? What's just what you've been thinking about? What popped up and you just like, man, this shit's crazy.
I guess we'll start with the more serious and then work our way all the way down to less serious in sports, and then eventually that should roll into top 5 lists.
Sounds good. Get it cracking.
All right. First thing I got. Have you ever heard of a country called Burkina Faso in Africa?
No.
I never heard of it until I seen this. I didn't know it was a country. I was like, what is this, a territory or something?
Right.
But it's a country. Anyways, the president, Ibrahim Traore, I might have said that wrong, but
It's either Traore or Traore. Either one.
you already know. Exactly. So Ibrahim, president of Burkina Faso, he wiped out all school fees for students from primary school all the way up to college to focus on youth development and making sure that it's not a barrier, like money isn't a barrier to get your education in his country. So I don't know. I thought that was amazing. Like, imagine just school completely being free
Very small country,
for
I'm
your
guessing.
students. 13 million, so it's not
Oh, that ain't no
super
small
small.
country. That ain't
Yeah,
small.
yeah, that
What?
13
Okay.
million.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think a lot of third world countries should take this kind of action. That need that surplus of middle class is kind of like, artificially creating a middle class. The only thing you worry about in the future is as you push people towards that direction, we still need a finite amount of the infrastructure jobs and, just the blue collar jobs and stuff like that. So, as smart, as cool, it seems productive. I hope it goes well. That's crazy. That's what's up.
Yeah. So they're heavily investing in their future.
That's what's up.
I just feel like capitalism wouldn't allow to do that here. They'd be like, well, what about the money? It's like there
Yeah,
are things bigger than that,
yeah. The money,
obviously.
yeah. Is capitalism a lot of times seems like shortchanging a person to the long term solutions that we have to invest a little now, but it'll pay off in the back end. And then it's like, well, I might be dead by then. What do I give? You know what I'm saying? Just some old selfish shit. So
So
if I knew I could do like something that could really enhance, because America's already great, so we don't really need to do anything that really needs to enhance. But if I lived in a third world place where I'm like, what's something that I could really enhance my kids' future and it could really change, you know what I'm saying? Where we don't got to do this and work so hard and this and that, we could be so much closer to like America. I would invest in that. I would invest in that. So, like you said, but in America, capitalism, current structure, us always being number one, we really not number one. But
So back to what we talked about maybe last week or the week before, China's teaching their kids AI to enhance their future, starting at primary school. You got countries in Africa that are erasing school fees completely.
correct.
Meanwhile, here they're about to start garnishing people's check that have student loan debt.
Capitalism, short term fixes, putting band-aids on things instead of doing surgery because surgery costs too much. It'll take too long. I don't want to do surgery. I just want a band-aid on it. Just give me some pain pills, make me feel good, but don't really work on that. It's not gonna work. It's not. You can't nickel it. That's nickel and diming us for real. Remember when we were laughing and we were like, the government sitting back somewhere like, defund who? Defund who?
No, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something like that. While
It's
they cut
uh,
cut our social services at the same time. Isn't that crazy? Why you going?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What do you need money for? If you cutting so many social services, let's see what that budget allocation looks like. Crazy.
It's all up. It's like, so obviously people that still owe can't afford to pay it. Otherwise, it would probably be paid off because they can't get a job even worth their degree that they got. So, like, it's just cycle. It's like,
Correct.
you went, you took all this money out to get this degree. You can't even get a job that will allow you to pay that money back. And now they're going to be like, well, that money, whatever job that you got, that you can't afford to pay this back, we're going to start taking it out of that too. So good luck.
Yeah, and it ultimately widens classism in a way, I guess. And then
You got it or you don't.
me and my dad talked about this. Fuck all the policy differences, fuck all the politics, maybe. And just think about we were talking about the distinct differences between someone like Obama, who we may identify with more, and compared to someone like Trump and how they handle negotiations or business. So Obama's more soft power. I'm gonna come in. What can I do for you? You do for me. Blah blah blah. If you go against me now, I'm taking that stuff away from you. And now you ain't got no friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's just best to do what I say. That's soft power. Trump's more like coming in trying to bully people and stuff like that. Now, as a black man's perspective, when you come in and you do some of those things, what you're willing to do when you're like really playing poker and you're like, I'm really willing to go. You're will those marginal people, those marginal situations, they become things that you can gamble with. You know what I'm saying? Obama's not gambling with people's student loans because at the end of the day, if I was like, say I was Obama, I still got to go back to the hood when I'm done with this presidency. My peoples are still in the hood. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to sell out for situations that are going to hurt my people. And then I got to go back to them places. And that's maybe the white black complex of the political landscape when it comes to when we talk about certain people on certain sides being sellouts and why they're not, and all this and all that whole thing is because those situations where it's like Obama's not going to do that, but Trump will for the betterment of whatever situation. And it's like you can't find anything else to put on the table to gamble. You got to play with these chips, specifically the marginal chips. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my perspective on it. All politics aside, whatever, it's more of a perspective. And I'm like, and maybe even a little deeper, it's more of a white man can gamble a little bit more and do a little bit more than a black person, because a black person is not, their perspective isn't that of someone who has it. So they're not just gonna gamble with it like that, like working your way up just to get that. And then like, I'm not about to gamble this. Why white people's like, I was born on this base. Of course I'm gonna gamble with this as far as I'm gonna fall. And that's just it's just a perspective. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with race, politics. Simple perspective between what might be me and my white friends going into a simple game of poker or a certain situation with our lives. So that's just part of it.
Yep.
Just,
Yep. I just thought that was interesting. That was very cool, dude, to erase the fees. Like, that, I mean, imagine waking up and being like, it's all free.
And you're like, we all going. What are you talking about? And you know, ain't nothing they love more than something free. They'll do it just because it's free.
I swear to God, just because it's free, I'm in here and I know everybody's in it.
And I know I say, but even Americans too. You feel me? Americans.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's just free. I'm in Costco. I'm in Sam's. I don't even know what this is. Oh, okay.
I'm going to try it.
Try it. Exactly.
I'm going to try it.
So that's what's up. What else you got?
All right. So speaking of things that the U.S. doing for its citizens, so this is a good thing. I feel like it's late, but it's happening. So I got to give credit where credit's due a little bit. So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration plans to phase out all petroleum-based synthetic dyes in the U.S.
Yep, all color-based dyes, basically.
26, I think, by the end of next year. So
that's beautiful.
I thought that's pretty. I got a quote from the commissioner, Dr. Marty McCary. He said, for the last 50 years, American children have increasingly been living in a toxic soup of synthetic chemicals. Now, there's no one ingredient that accounts for the child chronic disease epidemic. And let's be honest, taking petroleum-based food dyes out of food supply is not a silver bullet that will instantly make American children healthy, but it is one important step.
Yeah.
Which I agree with them all. But it's like, this is what I was talking about when a little late. It took you 50 years to realize that, but
no,
whatever,
to regulate it.
Okay.
Which is scary, right? Because it took you 50 years to regulate dye. How long is it going to take you to regulate AI?
Oof.
Yeah, and that's shit like that, where it's like, government's too slow, bro. Elon Musk was saying this before he was part of the government. So we'll see what this do. But no, it's that's good. I know, like, a lot of European countries, they already have that out. That's good.
No, I agree. I hear you. I think that would be the best way to, because there's so much at this point. That'd be the best way to phase it out, is from most important to least important. I mean, that's just simple human. So
yeah. So personally, I'm just more worried about MSD. Honestly, locally, like that should always be like, should worry about MSD local. How's our water systems? How's our water doing here? How's our infrastructure? Just locally.
Yeah.
Well, I would worry about that more than just that, honestly, where I'm like, and that maybe just be because I'm like, I'll make the purees. I'll make a gummy for the kids instead of doing that, like, for real. And not everyone has that opportunity, though. So, yep.
But yeah, that will take away or phase out red dot 40, yellow dot 5, yellow dot 6, blue dot 1, blue dot 2, and green dot 3.
Any dyes left?
That red dot 40, boy, that's about to take all of my favorites out. That's especially her in Louisville. That's Big Red. That's Hot Cheetos. That's like that's it.
That's death dust. That's the devil's dust. That's what people be calling it. I'm like, when that shit on the chips, they be like, that's the worst for you. I'm like, that's what got me eating kettle chips. I'm like, let me just go with something with some crunch, man, or something like that. And I still love me
a good substitute.
Oh my God, a great bag of Grippos. Great bag of hot fries. I'm not really a hot Cheetos person anymore because I ate so many as a kid. Like I ate so many bags. But Andes, I still mess with Andes.
Yes.
So mess with Andes specifically.
Yes. Andes is a problem. God damn it.
This is a problem. So pop.
All right. You want to keep it moving?
Keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
All right. So there's a RoboCop in motherfucking Thailand, nigga.
Okay.
They've created a cyborg police officer. The cyborg is capable of having access to nearby CCTV cameras, drones, and its own 360-degree AI cameras equipped with facial recognition, behavioral analysis, weapon detection, and blacklist alerts. And officials say its video analytics are advanced enough to differentiate between water guns from real weapons and identify violent behavior. It's RoboCop, nigga.
That's pretty good. I wonder how slow he is. Like, and I wonder like what his temperament is. Because in America, you
I
bring him
know you've seen that video,
in America, you bring him over here. We gonna f- with that. We gonna f- with that dog.
but
Really?
listen, I know you've seen that video. The AI bot in China that ran up.
No, no, no.
So we're gonna have to show it in the edit if we put this part out. The nigga ran up on there was like a divider between the people and there were some officials walking with the AI bot. And that nigga got up on the railing and was like I don't know, bro. Niggas was like, oh shit.
No, no, no. I'm looking at it.
It was like the first YN bot.
A YM bot? That's crazy work. What is it doing?
I don't know, bro.
Doing, dog.
Like, what would have done if nobody was around to stop it?
Why did somebody pull it back like it was, you
And that's what I'm saying, bro.
Come on. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
Hey,
what
don't
I'm
run up
saying.
on.
He was wilding.
Hey, I
No,
promise.
for real.
Are you serious?
I'll pull your plug. With me.
Shit, that's crazy. Yeah, I would have stole him though. He can't run up on me like in the barricades right there too. Like, and it would have been like I wouldn't have done it on purpose. That's what people don't understand. If you run up on me and you bob your head like that at me, I'm thinking, what are you about to do? You about to headbutt me? I'm gonna take a step
That's
back.
what I'm saying.
Simultaneously, as I take a step back, I'm gonna pop you. It's all gonna be one motion. So it's like,
It's just a natural reaction.
so yeah. Hey, that doesn't seem good in America. Like, don't bring us to the hood. Like, it's gonna be boxing AI. He's gonna be getting knocked out, and it's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy, dog. And then eventually, be gonna want their own robots, and they're gonna be fighting their robots against each other.
You already know.
It's just gonna be.
It's
Wow.
coming.
It's gonna be
It's
wow.
it'll be the new dog fighting.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be Pokemon, Digimon. This is how it's about to start right here,
And don't let it get it in the hands of a smart.
bro. I'm like, he's gonna tear them up, dog. And then the most gangster in the hood is gonna be coders.
Yep.
They gonna be the
Straight up.
you can't even f- with my man's. Like you can't even f- with him.
Like you
Right.
can't put him. He got an army.
Right. Like crazy. That's a crazy script. We gotta get on that. That's a crazy script. I like it.
I got the picture too. I'll put it on the post edit. Like they had the nigga dressed in the Thailand royalty police force gear or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
So, all right, keep it moving. So this, I don't want to fully go into wrestling. This is just some dude that is involved with wrestling. There's this quote, and I want to read it.
We can lead into wrestling. We can lead it into wrestling.
Okay. Well, we'll start with this though. I'm gonna read everything his whole post, and then you can tell me how you feel about it if you got anything. All right. Nathan Jones posted on, I'm guessing, Twitter or Facebook. Anyways, when I was in WWE, I saw something that stuck with me, not in the ring, but backstage. There'd be a wrestler they were trying to put over, someone the crowd just wasn't vibing with. You'd hear boos from the audience or worse, dead silence, no reaction. That's the death in wrestling. So what did WWE do? They'd pump in crowd noise, literal cheers through the arena speakers, sometimes even piped in chants like Rocky, Rocky, for someone the crowd clearly didn't care for, and then I'd watch from the monitors backstage as the real audience started to fall in line. Like the fake reaction gave them permission to cheer, and they did. That's when it hit me. Most people don't think with their own mind, they follow the noise. And now I see the same trick everywhere in politics, on the news, on social media. They play the cheer track and the crowd claps like trained seals. Manufactured consensus, emotional manipulation wrapped in spectacle. It worked in wrestling, it works even better in real life.
Correct.
I just thought that was very interesting. And remember, I had my little spout about wrestling reflecting life, life reflecting wrestling, and all that. Like, here's another example, stuff like that.
Okay, I completely agree with you. It's easy to. I mean, they tried to say that there was certain music that made people do, satanic back in the day. They said NWA and them were dangerous. You know what I'm saying? They've always said that sound has a certain way on the mind, and then they use it themselves. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I don't know. I don't go to a lot of events, so I feel like that's not like a big thing for me where I'm like where I care either way personally, and I feel like a lot of people don't go to the events. A lot of this money is made on TV contracts, so I don't know how much it affects the masses. You know what I'm saying? Does the crowd ever affect your opinion of something going on TV?
Not really,
That's what I was about
except
to say.
arguing with WWE and AEW fans back and forth. But
Right,
other than that,
but
that's a
like
small niche. But
because the crowd's booing or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't. And then like if I hear the crowd booing like a president or cheering, I don't really care. I don't care about none of that stuff for real. I'm not gonna lie to you. I care about what's really going on, and I think most people do too. But that's just me. That's why I'm like I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think it's very true, and I just think it's something that you got to be aware of. So
yeah, and I really more so connected with on the part talking about it works in wrestling, it works in real life, and just talking about how the news can all 20 other stations can spout the same and
yeah, yeah,
once they
I like
once
that.
they spout it long enough,
I
what we
like what you're
get the
saying
same,
with that. That's what I like. See, because the way I was looking at it from like the literal perspective, but what you're talking about is the system in which it's used, and then using it in even the unification of a mass system, and then using that on the human psyche. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a good analysis. That's true. That's very true. That's when it's most dangerous. That's when it's most dangerous.
Yep. And it's just crazy. And that's what I mean. Like I said, back to wrestling reflecting real life reflecting
Mhm.
wrestling, however, whichever way you look at it.
Could be the
Like,
testing field of some. You know what I'm saying? Just the testing
exactly.
ground.
Straight up.
What was I gonna say? Even you on that same wavelength, I have one because people shitting on wrestling or this or that. This fake and this. Well, Triple H made an appearance on something. Sorry if I don't get this right, but talked about Floyd Mayweather playing the heel in his appearance on WWE against the Big Show, if I'm not mistaken. And talking about how that experience taught him how to play the heel. Not only that, it led into the creation of Money Mayweather, that persona. So
Mm.
when he was the golden boy when he was young. He was the golden boy. Then he turned into Money May, and now he's a dick, and now he's a this, and now he's that. Now he's flashy, and now he just says whatever. He's pretentious, and he's it. You know what I'm saying? It totally changed, but that made him more money. It made him more popular. The golden boy could only go so far, so he literally used the same techniques that we just watched John Cena
John
employ.
Cena.
John Cena employ his whole career, and then use that to revitalize a second half of his career.
Yep.
So is that not life imitating art, art imitating life, wrestling imitating reality, reality imitating wrestling once again? So I know people, it's just haters.
People,
It's just really haters because that's only the people I'm talking to. A lot of people don't care, and then the people who do care, you're not gonna change their opinion because obviously they still in it. Ain't gonna change their opinion. Meteor's gonna come down tomorrow. Ain't gonna change no wrestler's opinion about wrestling. Stop it. That's some of the realest fans.
yep. No, for real. And then people go hill every day, like in real life,
But yeah,
that that hurt, relationship, a job, whatever
Spider-Man
happens, and that
3.
just, yeah,
To get the
that
storyline going, Batman,
you like,
Superman when
nah,
he got taken
that
over and he was wilding. That's the arc of almost everyone's greatest. I mean, it's long enough to be
live long
long enough.
enough.
Yeah, live
Yeah,
live long, whatever it is. We'll just post it in the post edit and show how we just can't bring it up, but we know what we talking about. But we too dumb to bring it up.
you already know.
So yeah,
But yeah,
yep,
like it's real.
that's what's up. All right, do you want to actually get into wrestling? And if so, what was your boy Heyman on, man?
He was on there wilding. He was on there wilding.
Absolutely, dog. He was on some drugs, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. He was high and he was drunk and he was on ESPN, and that's scary.
He sometimes they take that persona and in certain situations they turn it up even more. They go so hard into the character they're playing that it can sometimes be mistaken. Because I bet you talk to people that are cool with Heyman and really know him, and be like, he's the nicest guy in the world. Give you the shirt off his back, all that. You know what I mean? But on there, you can tell if you just take that context, you'll be like, he's a fuck asshole. Who the fuck is this bald trying to talk?
Not really even an act as much as why would you put Pat in those kind of situations with management? That's too far. It's way too far. I don't care. I don't know what his deal is, and I don't know if they care that he smokes. But he's a Disney partner. He can't just be on there talking about you smoking in the back and chiefing and shitting on Shannon Sharp, who's a colleague. It's just too many things that if it was just one and he was just wilding, that's cool. But like, it's too many things that can get McAfee in trouble and shit. And then part of it is he almost confirmed the race war that kind of low key is going on between Pat and the other side and shit. You feel me? So it's just like I'm just like, man, that's a lot. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot.
See, I feel like he might be a little drunk with wrestling fame and popularity right now because he's hot.
That's
He's
what,
been in the hottest
and that's what I've
angles
seen
for
a
the
lot of
last
people
5
saying.
years. And like he's creator of ECW, so he already had that edge to him. And then the fact that he's still around all these years later, he could probably talk like that around his wrestling world that he's usually in. And he comes in the real world and it's like, bro, I'll beat your ass, bro. Like this ain't, you know what I mean? This ain't wrestling. Like some of y'all can really fight. You can't.
So it's that one dude who hangs with the popular kids and thinks he's yeah, da da da, and it's like, hold on, little bro, I know you run with them, and but like you ain't them. Like I'll fuck you up in a quick second, bro. Calm down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically. And there'll be wrestling fans that'll you just don't get it and it's no, ain't nobody talking to me like that if I ain't you give me a check for this? Are we in character? All right, we in character and I'm getting paid. I'll let it go to a certain extent, but even then, it's gonna be like, all right, now you
Right.
better get popped in your mouth.
Right.
So he was on there wilding though. I watched it.
Yeah, he was
He
wilding.
was wilding.
So yeah, what'd you think of the whole WrestleMania weekend? I was iffy on Saturday, honestly, but Sunday I have thoughts on. So what'd you think about it and all?
Well, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. This isn't a everybody that knows me knows I love AEW. And if a wrestling fan, let's say we put this out and some wrestling fan gets a hold of this, I'm not saying it to shit on WWE. That shit was weak. Overall, there were good moments, good spots. But overall, like that's their top of the line, supposed to be top of the line work. That's their Super Bowl. Like it was just a letdown how night one, like you said, Saturday, they didn't have that triple threat at the end. It would have been like, what the was that? That triple threat at the end saved them because everybody kind of forgot it was such a good main event. And then
Right.
it rolls over into Sunday. You get your hopes up again. You're like, all right. And then it just keeps going. And it's like, bro, this ain't WrestleMania. This is just a show with that slapped on it. And then the main event happens. They're putting on a solid match. And then it ends like that with Travis Scott and not the actual Rock to help John Cena. And then how it ended, like Cody getting low blowed and him not being able to pull the trigger on hitting John Cena with the title and just I'm gonna let you do yours because there's more to it, bro. There's more to it that I'm gonna
Did
try
you
to
watch
get
Raw
a little
Monday?
bit.
You watched Raw?
I didn't, but I
Me either.
watched the highlights. I know what
Okay,
happened.
okay. I didn't get to watch the highlights, so that's the only thing I didn't get to catch. So you have to fill me in
A
on
lot
that.
of people, a lot of people are saying that was better than Mania because that's when
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard it
Cena
was.
got RKO'd
Yep.
by
With
Randy
Randy,
Orton.
which was what we kind of low key thought was gonna happen.
Like that's their
So
feud
now
about
it's
to
gonna be
start
them
up.
two. Yep.
Then out of that triple threat, Braun Breaker joined Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, and he beat up CM Punk and Roman. So now there's Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, who's the
Right.
nephew of Scott Steiner,
Of the Steiner brothers.
Yeah, son of Rick Steiner.
Right.
And then Paul Heyman. And I think there's going to be one more added to it. Not
Right.
sure who yet. But so, yeah, it was a little more exciting than WrestleMania itself was.
Then it's gonna be somebody like who did Gunther like KO or Gunther or somebody like that.
Well, KO's hurt for real for us. That's why he wasn't on WrestleMania. I think I keep seeing Austin Theory thrown around.
Okay.
So possibly him that would work well for him because he needs something like that. I've seen Montez Ford's name thrown
Okay.
around.
That'd be
I've seen Carmelo Hayes because he calls himself him. He'd be like, I'm
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I think Heyman says something about we need him or something, and I don't know. So
So it
people
might
be
be.
piecing
Yeah.
shit together.
Right.
There's a few names that could possibly be it, but at the end of the day, I don't know, honestly.
Cool. What was I gonna say? Saturday. I agree with everything you said. That wasn't it. That's not what we grew up on. It's not what y'all made y'all's money off of. That's not it. If I had to take a best match, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io, I mean, hands down, right? I mean, they did some ridiculous shit. They were exciting the whole time. We talking about best match, some really incredible. When Io was just flying around that, trying to think. Bianca, when her and Rhea like ran at each other and basically did like a spinning like helicopter and slammed Rhea's face into the mat. And then when she took her hair and whipped her, I'm like, I don't know why, but like that is the perfect caricature of like a black woman superhero, heroine, or whatever. Like that would be perfect. Like she has this long ass braid and like before you even get close to her, she's whipping you with that. You feel me? Like as I was just, I love like how everything she does gives off the aesthetic of who she is. She does good at that.
She's good.
She's really good. And Io, she's funny to me. She's like a little caricature. And I don't mean to like do like Japanese people are that way, but it's more so like the culture of like the anime culture and stuff like that. She's
Yeah.
like very like over dramatic and emotional, but in a very bubbly way. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, she's
And she has to do that. She can speak English,
oh
but
yeah, I know.
a lot of them don't speak what we would call perfect English
Yeah,
to where
broken.
you might be a little uncomfortable. I mean, imagine you in Japan or China trying to
But
speak
yeah,
their
try
language.
I'm like, I'm not
And
doing
it's
that.
like I know it, but like
I'm not doing it after I
that's
just wrestled or in the middle of something, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot.
you got to be real facial and
Nah,
I mean just show your stuff through your body language and all that. Like and it's not like you can hear them talking a lot during the match, but you know what I mean? So you start to develop that instead.
yeah,
Yeah, a few matches I thought were good. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Fatu got a US championship, so that was cool. The triple threat with CM Punk, Roman, and Seth was pretty cool. The triple threat that you just brought up was good. And then, like I said, the main event fell flat because of how it ended. And this is the biggest heel turn in WWE history because Hogan was WCW. He came back to WWE as the Hollywood Hulk Hogan, but
right.
as far as heel or face turn, this is their biggest one ever. I mean, literally everyone has been waiting for John Cena. Usually characters do it 10 times at least in their career if they have a nice long career, like
Right.
switching back and forward. This man has been he started as a heel, but he wasn't that big.
Yeah,
Then he
right.
became the John Cena we know, and he never switched. So
It didn't even feel like a heel at first. It felt more like I don't
it
know. I
was
don't know
just
how it felt. It felt
it
I don't
was
know.
his starting gimmick. That's how he got off the
Yeah,
ground with it.
yeah, just a modern gimmick more so. It didn't feel like a heel though. More like a modern gimmick.
Yeah. Anyways, to get
I looked at my weather.
let's see. Hold on.
Hello.
All right. What's up, Ashley?
How's it going?
It's going well. Going well.
Kayla left.
Yeah, it's like 3:15, 3:20, you guys.
Cool. Might hear some thunder rumbling. This storm's rolling in. Shouldn't be too bad though.
Ain't nothing like being at home with a good thunderstorm. I don't know why I love that. Maybe it's the May
Me too.
baby in me.
I find a lot of solace in it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, especially when you got the people you love most with you, and you just
Yeah,
like,
stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
There
It's
has
just
to be something. There has to be something to that, like human evolutionary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some protective in us. So just like, yeah, just when going down outside to be collectively inside with the people you with most. So yeah, mine.
why the hell did Antonio McKinney just message me on Facebook off a inside joke from middle school, bro? And somehow I instantly remembered it.
What did he
Like
say?
he said tree fitty, and
Oh
that's what
my god.
from South Park, bro.
Yes, bro. I used to say that all the time, dog.
Like I don't know, he's hilarious. But anyways,
Speaking of that, random people. So who is it? Cassie gets engaged.
Yep.
Francis Dumbsdorff gets married at his crib because you know half his crib's a church, so they
I
decorated.
think I remember that.
Right,
Yeah, I think I remember
it's right
that.
there on Six and right there at Central Park, Six and like Oak or something.
That's dope.
What else? What else? Zeb, John Zeb Kijkhouse. Zeb got married. I told him congratulations. I feel like somebody else got married. I'm missing somebody from my peoples. I think Caroline Thomas got married not too long ago. I feel like
God damn, everybody.
yeah, it feels like that group that like decided to really go hard on the education and do their thing and their job and get that. Now they're all getting married and they're all about to start
Exactly.
their families, which is cool. That's cool, man. So shout out to all them.
Today's Nick's birthday too.
Shout out to Nick Pope. Shout out to him. John Sizemore. Shout out to him. It's his birthday yesterday. Who else's birthdays, man? That's a bunch, man. That's a bunch. My grandmama's birthday is this Saturday. Shout out to Charlene. She's about
Mine
to
was
be a
last
beautiful, like
Friday.
78. Nuh-uh. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the little party we was at.
Okay. Shout out to Grammys. Shout out to Grammys. Shit, and like we already talked about birthdays, so we need to pop that. We need to put that on the pod, like all the birthdays that are coming up. That'd be a good one.
Yep.
So
Straight up.
all right, so yeah, that was basically kind of it on the wrestling note.
I got one more little point to make.
No, you good. I was just gonna say that you just gotta do better on WrestleMania, y'all. You just gotta do better. SummerSlam has to be a hit. It has to. That crowd deserved way more. That crowd was electric. There's no reason you should have gave them that. Shout out to the great, like you said, those are some few good matches though. Yeah, you heard that.
Standing over here, yep.
There was a few good matches though. So shout out to like you said, CM, Seth, the women. Shout out all that. Got to do better. Got to do better. But get to your point.
So behind the scenes, this is more speculation, but people are putting two and two together more so. But it's some cracks starting to show. There's a power struggle going on between The Rock and Triple H.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I felt like I saw that coming when this nigga popped up and took Cena under his wing like it was Vin Diesel on Fast and Furious. Like he tried to hijack the. You feel? I don't know. That's just my whole. And then you already know the way that the whole WWE verse even feels about The Rock. Anyways, about his ego that comes with his stardom. You feel me? Like real ego. And like you've seen that translate outside to Hollywood. I feel like I ain't gonna lie to you. A little bit of me felt like when he was in that ring with Cena the first time and turning heel and shit. That's the real Rock. Like his ego is like that. You feel me? Like nah, bitch. Like I'm here. I'm basically a chairman of this. And if I'm a chairman of this, and he's the owner, I might kick him to the side and become the owner myself. Nigga. Hostile takeover. It happens in business all the time. You feel me? It feels like, but what if it ends up being a real storyline?
They do that.
That's what
when
I'm
you start
saying.
blurring the lines. That's
and
when you
that would
start
be
blurring
hard
the lines.
like Cena, Triple H, The Rock, Randy Orton, all the greats, nigga, coming back, nigga, for the fate of the WWE, nigga, looking like the Avengers.
That I wouldn't be surprised.
And Cena was just the first domino type to some. You feel me?
Exactly. Especially if more comes out, then they're like, "Well, they know about it. Let's run with it." That's wrestling. That's what I mean about real life.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like the real fate of the WWE verse, bring everybody back who can still get it in, type shit. Might bring Stone Cold back. He can't even come back. Might bring Stone Cold back. So you feel me? Just something crazy where we're just like, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just that's my dream. That's my dreams. But keep going.
No. And that, I mean, it could come to pass. So we're gonna see. But
I don't think it'll happen.
it might. Just like I said, I think if more comes out, if they keep it under wraps, they won't run with it. If more leaks out, they're gonna be like, well, let's make some money off of it.
Thank you, and that's my bigger point.
But anyway, so to give you a few details, The Rock wanted Cody to turn heel. Now there was a segment where he really did ask Cody to give him his soul, and Cody said, "Go f- yourself," because Cody in real life didn't want to go heel.
Right.
They've had the most profit they had ever this year, and Cody's the champion.
Right.
I'm the babyface. Why would I turn heel right now? When that day comes that I need to.
In the prime of my baby face, I'm not switching. That's the dumbest shit ever.
Why would I do that? So John Cena, it pivoted to him turning heel. I feel like, and this is stuff I've heard and also pieced together myself. So I think The Rock basically, so he was in the beginning, he was the middle of the angle. He's the one that.
That's me.
Exactly. Now let's say it's go and make your presence felt, Thunder. We got you. You want to cast. But in the middle of he was in the middle of it. That first angle where he told the neck strike or whatever, and told Cena to turn heel. So from that point, you think, all right, The Rock's starting this super group, and Cena's the first piece, and you know what I mean, he's gonna do this authority type shit. And then all of a sudden, he was it. That was it. He wasn't there anymore. He wasn't there on the lead up to WrestleMania, and then that night when Travis Scott came out, I was like, here comes The Rock. Never happened. So people are like, so what was all that? So come to find out, Rock got on, I forgot whose podcast. It might even been, I think he might have talked to Pat McAfee too. He starts spilling all this shit, bro. And this is, I mean, you can look at this after, whatever. He goes on there, he's like, yeah, the guy from TKO, I forgot his name. He called me and said, ticket sales for Elimination Chamber are low. We need you. So that's why I came at Elimination Chamber and did that. But there was no long term story planning for it. It was just me to make an appearance to boost ticket sales and all this other shit. And it's like, first off, I don't think they needed a boost. Like tickets were selling fine. So it's just like you're saying some BS right now or something's muddy right now. And then he was like, yeah, then I called John and Cody and I told them that my work is done. Y'all don't need me no more. I don't want to be in the middle of it. It's like, bro, you're already in the middle of it. Like the whole thing is revolving around you going out and telling Cena, you know what I mean? So you're in the middle now. So what do you mean y'all had no long term story for it? So I think something didn't go his way in the planning process, and he was like, "I'm done. I don't want nothing involved in it." So then that leaves Triple H to have to piece together this story as best he can, which is how you get Travis Scott back. And it's like, what does he got to do with anything?
Unless it's true and they called him again and said we need to sell tickets.
Yeah, and that could have been true, but it's just like I said, they didn't need help selling those tickets, bro. Like it didn't boost it up that much. It was already selling fine. It was already selling fine at Elimination
I'm saying it
Chamber.
can be true, but it sounds like your version of your reasoning that you're giving The Rock. I'm not believing that. That's not substantial enough. So two things can be true, but you know.
So all that mixed up, and it's just like, what's going on?
That's drama.
There's something boiling under the surface, and
that's a lot of
drama. They're gonna settle it, or it's gonna end up like where one of them gets Rock either quits or Rock somehow gets Triple H out of his position, and Rock will be the creative control dude.
The Rock Obama. That's
straight up.
That'd never be his name, The Rock Obama.
Straight up. So that's crazy. That's what's happening behind the scenes.
That's a lot, man. SummerSlam just better be better. Like if SummerSlam isn't better, then maybe I'll be convinced that the WWE was shortchanging some. If something goes on to, where the storyline progresses and we see remnants of it and leading up to SummerSlam or something like that, then yeah, sure. But I guess time will tell, which people hate hearing, which is what they love. That's how they get you.
That's what I got for wrestling today. So
cool.
I think, let me see what time it is. About to say, I don't know if you want, I have a few other ones, but we can go into centers if you want. Yeah.
We should probably get to that, and then anything else we can get to. Maybe we can get like
after or another
Yeah,
time?
and even like B Fines is because
Your opinion.
my other honestly was RIP the Pope because we went to go see him. Shannon Sharp, Jersey Retirements, Deion Sanders. A lot of this is Sinners, a lot of this is Sinners, a lot of this is Sinners. And then my top five. Yeah, and then I just
Cool.
have like some funny shit for B Fines. I was trying to think of just like, I was like, what's some funny shit we can ask him? Because like, I feel like that would, because like, I love doing top fives with him, but I'm like, let's do something to kind of get, because we think he's funny, he's good at storytelling. So let's kind of get that out of him. So I was just going to ask him some like, is honky racist or not? Because honky tonk, you can't. White people were saying honky tonk, so it'd be us saying like a shack. So I'm like, but it says it's racist. Like the definition says that it's racist that and it's black people that use it. But I'm like, white people use it. That's not true. The context is wrong. Stop trying to paint us as just whatever. White people use it. So I was gonna ask y'all that basically.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Let me write this down so I won't forget it.
What?
What's his name? Elton John. Cause he got some bangers, bro. This white ass got some bangers.
Oh,
But
John's code.
he has an album called, I'm pretty sure, The Honky Chateau.
Okay. See. Okay. So I'm glad. So it's only when black people use it, which is weird. Which is weird to me. But anyways, is it? And I was gonna ask if we get to it, is it weird that men are making rules that are saying trans women aren't women? Shouldn't we let women decide? You think that would even change the result, though? That's what I was gonna ask. I don't know if
Now,
he wants to even get into that. That's why I'm like, I don't even know if he wants to get into
we'll
that. You
get,
feel me? So
yeah.
I was like, I'll leave that. But the other shit was just, I was gonna ask, where's my shit at? I had it down there. My shit. I was gonna ask him, do you think them women really went to space? There's a list somebody made that said the top 7 people setting black people back. I wanted to see if he agreed on it. It was just a random post. And then the other one
If
was
Charleston White's on there, I'm pretty sure he fucks with him a little bit. I don't know.
he's
I
not
don't
on there
know.
actually. It's
Okay. I
crazy.
was just gonna
And
say
I
he
was like,
so
then I
that
was gonna ask him, do you want to make a top 5? Because I would love to hear his perspective on top 5 people because he has a different perspective. So I love that. So that's why I'm like, and then Shannon Sharp. I wonder what. So I just wanted to ask B Fines just some random shit along with it. So that's why I'm like, we can get into centers. Everything else is just
yeah,
some shit,
I got a like 3 ones that we can
just like little
get
randos.
to it at the very end.
That's cool. Yeah, because he
Even
said he's
after he
going
gets
like
off.
15 minutes late, so it should give us like 45 minutes.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Before just real quick to roll into it. So Ryan Coogler is set to reboot X-Files. Did you see that? Yeah, that shit's about to be hard. This is his quote on it. I've been excited about that for a long time and I'm fired up to get back to it. And he said that's immediately next on his slate. Some of those episodes, if we do our jobs right, will be really scary. So we about to eat good.
We about to eat good. Shout out Ryan. That's crazy. That's woo. Nigga Michael B. Jordan's making a cameo in that.
I know he has. You know he is. He gonna play. He might play the main character in
Right,
every
exactly.
episode.
Depending on he might be in that point of his career. He's like, yeah, let's do TV.
We're doing everything.
Right.
Give him the Twilight Zone too. Give him all that. Actually, give it to Jordan Peele. Let
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler do the X Files and give
Yeah.
Twilight Zone to Jordan Peele.
Yeah. And give Soul Food to Issa Rae.
Hey,
That would be kind of
that
hard
would
though.
be
That new Soul Food
no, it would be.
would be hard though. I ain't even gonna lie. She fucked it up. All right, man. What'd you think? So hold on. So me and you went to Centers. We went with an eclectic group of people from every different kind of background, white, black, mixed, man, woman.
Literally.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were all heteros. Sorry, the queer community. We didn't have a representative for you all, but everyone else, and the Hispanic community and the Asian community. But guess what? Y'all were in the movie. All right.
Yeah.
But the Hispanic community wasn't. I'm sorry about that. I saw y'all get mad for a second, but it's all good. Y'all still got GNX. Y'all still got GNX. They get mad and niggas gonna get mad as they gonna get mad. No. Y'all still got Black Panther 2. Wakanda Forever.
God damn it.
Y'all still got Wakanda Forever. So where's my mans? See? What were they called? Like the to hit to
I forgot, honestly.
Me too. I wish I had it at the tip of my tongue. See, that's what I'm talking about. See? Kingdom More. It's like amour with an N at the front of it. So like the opposite of love. It can be like that. Nigga love. All right. Yeah, but we went with a great group of people. We saw it in the IMAX suggested by Ryan. If anyone's seen those clips, talking about the way they shot it, the perspectives, how they were really be able to and capture the whole setting. That was dope. It felt like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something. You feel me? Something like that. Where it's like immersive. It definitely felt like an immersive shot. If you have any thoughts of it, definitely do IMAX. If you're waiting for it to come home, maybe do both for real. I ain't gonna lie to you, because the experience of seeing it in that format is, like I said, immersive. And unless you maybe have a home studio that's really gonna do that for you with the surround sound and all that stuff, it's not even gonna come close. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, but
definitely one of them. And I'm not even a moviegoer like that. I love watching stuff in the comfort of my home. But that's one. That's one of them that
that's one of them.
go see that in theaters.
It's one of them. So
go see that.
Yeah. And the streaming there messed me up so bad where I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait for everything to come out. You feel me?
I swear to God, it's gonna be on one of these.
Yeah. Gladiator 2 came out quick as hell. Shit.
Like, yep.
So
I was planning on seeing it for so long, and then all of a sudden it was like, it's on Max.
So any thoughts on, before we get into the storyline, the cast?
I think it was cast perfect. I love that Michael B was playing twins. He did his thing. The Irish dude that represented the devil, I don't know why it was perfect, but it was.
Remy. Hold on. Michael B. Before we go further on Michael B., do you think that was the best performance he's had that you've seen on screen?
Absolutely. Because he played two different characters.
They said they had a twin consultant as part of the movie.
That's dope.
Yep. So it gave definitely a realness. And I really connected with his character, Southern brother, military. I grew up, family, just, straddling the line between, what's good, what's bad, the space that you give it out here to operate in, and me taking, having a, mindset of, I've got to go get it, but what does that look like? It may not always look good or bad all the time. It may always look lawful or unlawful. You know what I'm saying? But it's always in a way that is, at the end of the day, still trying to do, what's best for the people around you in the grand scheme of things. So I thought that was it gave nuance to his character. And, what I'm saying? So
I love that they picked the hoodoo character.
Hold on.
Smoke's wife or girlfriend.
Wunmi Mosaku. She played in Lovecraft Country. She's beautiful.
I love that they picked her, and nothing against. I ain't doing no colorism against light skinned women. I think all black women are beautiful, but I love that they picked her for the role.
Yeah, no, and even if let's just look at colorism from a non-biased aspect. The rootedness of her character. What would you think of a rooted? You would think ideally of something rooted would be of a wood, of a darker. You know what I'm saying? It's small things like that. She's more of the aesthetic that would fit a character who is grounded in the roots of their culture type deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that I look at it. So I'm like, that's the perfect person. She's not necessarily skinny. She's not necessarily, you know what I'm saying? She's a full woman, for real. And she portrays that even in her everything. So it's just like, yeah, I'm with you. That was perfectly casted. And her character is just, she's a shit, man.
Yep.
But even if you want to get into beauty, like I think she has a very deep, natural, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, maybe like a transcendent beauty. And that's like the character she was playing, like a kind of like a transcendent one that can do all that. So it's just like, I think it was perfectly casted. Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. What do you think?
The white girl, like
Haley Steinfeld.
Yep. She played the shit out her role. Like everybody came to play.
I thought I ain't even gonna lie, I didn't know who that was, because I'm like, she's Haley Steinfeld's white as hell, ain't she? I'm like, she's white as hell.
In that movie, I thinking the same thing as Lil Sammy was. He's like, what are you? That's what literally everybody was probably thinking.
You got some in you, dog. You got some in you, dog.
Exactly. I see it.
And that's crazy because, like, you know what I thought what part of Louisville would she be from? The way she talked and act. I'm trying to think. Would she be from the South End, Portland, East End, Fern Creek, J-Town, Southern Indiana?
South End, are we talking like PRP and shit?
Yeah, South End, yeah, PRP and out type. Dixie Highway. Dixie Highway, nigga.
There's a few options. I feel
Highlands.
like
I forgot to say Highlands, but they RC fartsy. I wouldn't even put them in that category. So
I could see her as like a J-Town white girl that got some white. I could see that. That's one. I could see her being from PRP or some shit, Dixie area or some shit. Where else? Other in like high school, Valley High School. I don't know. I'm getting.
hey, that whole area, nigga, everything's south of J Town, all the way down. Everything,
No, for real.
the whole
I
thing.
can see that.
J Town, Fern Creek, Preston,
Yep. All that.
Ferndale, Iroquois, South End,
All
right
that.
back around. You can throw Portland in there.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy though. Yeah, I was thinking. I'm like, what was she? And I'm like, that's gonna be our question for this week though. If she was from what part of the city would Haley Steinfeld's character in Sinners be from?
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So
That's
yeah,
good.
hey, she played the hell out of that, bro. What'd she say? Who the fuck you talking to or something? I'm like, she might hang around some.
You got to. But you know something I find funny is, and it still happens today. When you start getting in certain parts of the southern country, talk the same.
We're all
You
the
can
same.
even go back. You can even go back to Django Unchained, like when they got to the white man's big house, or whatever.
Yeah.
Django was talking to the white man, and then the slave master was trying to tell the old girl how to treat Django.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking like a nigga, but that's because they all live together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have different instances. We'll get into the specific one maybe that the movie illustrates, but we have different ones where it's like, man, who teamed up? Somebody teamed up with the Seminoles, man. The French, because the French was getting their land taken by. So the French got in with the Seminoles, so then they started becoming a race of the French and the Seminoles. So white people, we've created those pockets through history of us coming together because of the tyranny of white supremacy. So it's like, they don't tell us a lot of that, but like, yeah, that's why you got certain French ways around certain places, and then that's why it wraps all the way around to Louisiana. You get the Cajun. Who's with the Cajun? It's the other ones that everybody Creole. Yeah, the Cajun and the Creole. This movie explores Irish, and really the Irish is, I would call them, the black, they black counterparts would be the Jamaicans. So yeah, we've always had that, man, and generally it's repressed at the hands of white supremacy. We come together because the French was coming because they ain't had no choice because shit, they taking their land and shit. You feel me? They got to team up with the niggas who's fighting against them, right? That's what the whole French and Indian War and shit's about, right? That's why I'm like, it's remnants of all that shit all the time. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Haley Steinfeld character fire. What'd you think about your boy's character, OG Delroy Lindo?
Delta Slim.
Delta Slim, boy. What you think about my man?
He did a great job. I read a quote by his saying that he was with the idea. He had a few tweaks though that, basically I'm sure in that age we'll all have stuff that's like, you either do it like this or I ain't doing it. So he said like he had some shit that, he said to Ryan Coogler, nothing disrespectful or nothing, but it was just on some like,
yeah, this is my boundary.
I'm messing with what you got going on. This is how I want to do it.
Yep.
If you do it this way, I'm your guy. If not, cool. And obviously it worked out. Ryan Coogler knew who he had on his hands. So he's like, I'm sure like, yeah, those are great ideas.
All right, Delroy. Don't let a nigga be like in class with us or something like Delroy.
Boy.
Or they gave it to you.
Then it seems like in real life, a nigga named Delroy, nickname would be Delta.
Delta Slim, though. That would be his rap name,
perfect.
bro. Would it not be? You'd be like, Delta Slim, that's hard. What's his real name? Delroy Lindo. You'd be
Delroy, exactly.
You'd be like Clifford Harris. You'd be like,
Like, nigga, what?
Aubrey Graham.
Even though that's his middle name that he ended up using. So
yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I misplaced. So we know Delroy from everything from, he has look at his range. From Crooklyn and Romeo Must Die to The Good Fight, which is a show I loved, and Five Bloods. His performance in Five Bloods was absolutely incredible.
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
I felt like his character in Five Blood, I could feel parts of his soul that was echoed through that time period of, the black man's repressed hurt and shit like that. I can feel it literally time travel back 30 years, 1930s, and to this character. So he's just great at that. And he's British. Remember, man, you've talked about this before, about how maybe we should have actual black Americans represent actual black American roles. But this nigga, nah, I need him in all my black American shit. That nigga, he's probably better at being a black American now than being British. I don't even know.
I would have never. I did not know that, and I would have never known.
Thank you. He feels like Unc, bro. He feels like Unc of the American culture. You could put him up there lightweight with the Angela Bassett's and the everybody feels like our aunts and our mamas and shit now. You feel me? Like I said, his range is crazy. About over 30 years of just going hard on major shit. Crazy. So
I agree.
And he's worked with Spike Lee multiple times. You know what I'm saying? This shit like everyone.
He definitely did his thing.
What you think about Pearline, the mayor from Batman? But you didn't know.
Damn, I didn't even know. I didn't even put that together.
She's sexy as fuck. They said her pussy was so good, she got a club named after at the end. Nigga said didn't even slide up in it. That nigga only tasted it. That's crazy.
Never even was in that. He remembered that the rest of his life, literally.
That's crazy. So that was good.
Then speaking of him, Sammy, I loved his character. Like, ends up being he's the main character for real.
I loved it because I feel like he didn't have to act, man. You want to listen to this? Off screen and in real life, the R&B artist is the son of gospel singer Timothy Figueroa and had been singing since he'd been a child. Music is in his DNA and he's been performing since he was 2 years old. Cadden's musical talent earned him praise from other gospel greats, such as Faith Evans and Bishop T.D. Jakes. The rising star has also toured as a supporting act for Oscar and Grammy-nominated artist Her before he graduated from high school. In an interview with Variety, Coogler revealed that and why he knew that he would fit perfectly. He said, you could just tell the kid was special, like as a person. He was good enough as a singer that he didn't have to finish high school, but he did anyways. I thought there was something to that. I was like, oh no, I've got to bring this kid in. And I'm like, some of those same things that seem to evoke from him in real life seem to transcend in that character where it was just perfect. And that goes back to, that's why we had to talk about the cast before we even get into anything else, because the casting, when you got the right people,
it was set off. It was set off right then.
And then we're not even getting to Omar Miller playing the bouncer.
Exactly.
So hard.
Give me what you owe me. Nigga couldn't cross that line. He's like, I'm gonna get as close as I can though.
Yeah. So we'll get into some history before. So different forms of history. Asians in the Delta didn't know this. The Southern government, with the likes of black codes, made it possible for the Chinese to own shops in black communities, something we see still persists today. Now, it's not from the same origin, because the South Korean wig industry played a significant role in the American wig industry, particularly after the Korean. South Korea became a major exporter of these wigs, and our government also, removed some taxes and duties for them, made it easier for them to get their product here, which gave them abilities to set up these storefronts. And we still see this persist today in specifically Southern black communities. So I didn't even realize that Chinese people who didn't go out west, it's like, y'all can open shops, but only in the black communities.
You ain't touching our territory.
No, because you're not owning our shops. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. What else? All right. And then before we even get into the movie, I'm going to run this down. Just some different things to think about. Early 1650s, the English brought Irish slaves to the West Indies and America, thanks to King Charles I. So the Irish slaves, this is going to go back to our conspiracy corner shit, bro. This is why this shit's crazy. So in 1656, 2,000 Irish kids were ordered from Ireland to Jamaica to be sold as slaves. So, when me and you get into the Pied Piper shit, creating a new world, the lost generation, why are they called that? The Great Migration, why was the Vanderbilts building all these railroads, taking people out west? What was he really doing for the queen when he was going? You know what I'm saying? All that shit. It's all back to this shit. You feel me? So 10,000 Irish people ended up going, bro, to Jamaica and being slaves, bro, for the English. So then the African males they would want them to mate with the Irish women to create a more laborious breed, bro.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So it's to maybe give you a different perspective on, the movie. And it's crazy. So like someone, Richard Robert Madden, he was a famous English doctor with successful business. He left London and went to oversee abolition movement in Jamaica. He eventually got intimidated and resigned. He finds out, because this is in the 1800s, early 1800s, he finds out, he's like, hold on. He looks into his ancestry. He's like, I got Jamaican in me. Well, yeah, you got Jamaican in you, bro, because they bred your people a couple centuries before. So he's like, no, I'm about to go fight for these. I'm about to go fight with my niggas. You feel me? And even still to today, if you go to Jamaica and you see Madden Funeral Home, that's a branch of his family still today. That's basically like Porter Funeral Home of Louisville, or like G.C. Williams. Like, I'm like, that shit, it's the oldest one.
Wow.
That's why I'm like, that shit's crazy, bro. So then you fast forward to 1916. Marcus Garvey slides over there, and you got the Irish Uprising of 1916. And it had such a profound, me and you talk about it. One of his buildings was named after one of the Irish churches back home. It had such a profound impact that, his slogan, Africa for Africans at home and abroad. The Irish Revolution's motto was the Irish race at home and abroad. That's what I'm saying. That's how closely linked we are. So that's why I'm like, so keep going. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you wouldn't know that today.
No.
At least like
so
based on people.
So then you're like, there's no way as black people Irish and we're all together. Oh, okay. Do you know someone in your family with the last name, or someone around you with the last name McElroy?
I was about to say it.
I got some family members who are McElroys, bro. I don't know if they related to your boy, to Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, I don't know if they're related to them, but I got some McElroys too. So even us, so any black person, anyone black or white within that lineage could have the possibility of white being Jamaican, black having Irish in them. Modern day type shit. So think of Clark, Murphy, Collins, Burke, Walsh, Lynch, any prefix with Mick, and any prefix with O'Reilly, O'Hare, all that stuff. Any black people with that, you're probably in that, what we're talking about, in that group. Think about it. Bob Marley's mom was white. Bob Marley's dad was black. They were both Jamaican. Okay. That's why I'm like, so it's just shit like that. Clyde McKay, famous Renaissance artist, Harlem Renaissance artist. They've always been around. The Jamaican police force, their uniform has a red seam going down the side of the pants, the same exact red seam that the Irish police force has.
So they're mirror images of each other, just like,
or some
opposite sides of the same coin.
Okay, perfect. Exactly what you're saying. Some Jamaicans say Ireland's just Jamaica in the coat. Some Irish say Jamaicans sound like they're from Cork, a very small city down at the bottom of Ireland. So they both say to each other, we are alike in their different ways. And the one thing that they really do have in common is they cuss crazily. Just the way they cuss. You think of a Jamaican, a bumbaclaw, and then the way the Irish come off with their cuss words, I'm not even gonna attempt it. So it's like we share so many things. So bring that idea into mind. Spoilers are coming after all this, but keep all that information in mind if you're going to see this movie. Asian, the Irish, and then the last one I wanted to get into before, and then Skinwalker Ranch might help people out to understand this film. So Skinwalker Ranch is located in, I've told people wrong, it's northeastern Utah, 500-acre property, known for numerous reports of paranormal activity, UFO sightings, strange lights, mysterious creatures, cattle mutilations, voices. You might have seen people. It's gotten large now, so a lot of people have seen it. But this is where you get the crop circle markings. This is where you get like Signs. Okay, that movie Signs. There's all kind of stuff that's happened there, man. So, but getting back to it, the Navajo culture believes that skinwalkers are in that area. They believe it's a haunted land and often depict them as shape-shifting witches who can manipulate and harm through dark magic. So that may bring into a better realization of what that scene was about when they ran up on those people. They're believed to have the ability to transform into animals and are often malevolent beings. So that might help with the entities in which you might try to understand you're dealing with. And then the last one, Devil at the Crossroads, the documentary on Netflix. It's a short, mysterious life of Robert Johnson, who's a blues singer who influenced a lot of people later. But it comes from the myth of how he sold his soul to the devil in Mississippi for musical success. Just some historical facts that might lead you to a greater understanding of what this film is really trying to evoke. And this is real life, based on reality.
I saw stuff about that documentary and just some of his story.
Yeah.
Seems to take some inspiration from it.
Definitely. So let's get into it then. And then last thing I guess would be, all right, so how you want to go into it with the movie? You just want to go through like the actual movie, like, or what are your thoughts on it? I would say.
I have more so notes.
Okay.
And I don't have that many. And I'll say my notes and you can kind of, if you want to go through scenes after that or just whatever the thoughts I have.
That's cool.
So it's a little spoilery, like, you know what I mean? But it's not necessarily like you'll still want to see it. Anyways, so.
We're already in spoiled territory. It's over.
No, we already in
You don't go.
The Haley Steinfeld's character let the devil in, and it was lust and greed that allowed the devil to get in. Because first off, Stack wanted her to go get that money from them, even though they had already said, "No, you ain't getting in here. Y'all ain't getting in here. Y'all weird." He sent her out there anyway. She ends up turning into getting bit. She comes back. Of course, she's invited in. So greed already, and then Stack lusting after her. He already knew from the beginning of the movie. He's like, "No, I don't want to with you. Get out of here." And she just keeps, "Oh, you can steal this and that. You can't steal this pussy," and all that. So lust. From that point, he gets taken over by lust. So we got greed and lust already. Basically, the devil wouldn't have got in without if those weren't playing a part of it. Some more notes. I got
Hold
smoke
on.
and stack.
Before you go any further, I feel like what I've been thinking since I've watched it is like black women not wanting to be in cohesion with white women when it comes to like women's rights, because they're like, no, they make it about themselves. They hijack this shit. They this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like niggas start dating white girls. And it's like, I know we're modern day, so it's less of a threat, but there's always a threat because you're a young black male, and it only heightens it probably being with someone in a situation that could become combustible and in a way that you cannot control the situation. But outside of that, I already know what they're like within the women's rights atmosphere, and I'm afraid that the same thing that I see in that is what really would be the downfall. And I feel like that's a combination of both in Haley Steinfeld's character, where her greed, where maybe she sins by being a cooperator in the whole, instead of picking the side in the first place. God says that. God says don't be lukewarm. It's good to be one way or another. If you think wrong, it's cool. God will straighten you back out, but don't be in the middle. Don't play both sides. Don't be like Peter in the garden. Yeah, nigga, Peter was wilding like a motherfucker. Nigga told him, you gonna deny me 3 times. And nigga said,
He's like, "Not me."
not me, Peter.
Nigga got up there. Was like, "I don't know that nigga."
You was hold on, you was with him. Remember?
Nah.
That wasn't me, bro. You had the
Have you
same
seen
robe
that?
on. You had the Earth Jesus's on, remember? I don't
That
even
was
wear
your
Earth
man.
Jesus's. I don't even wear Earth Jesus's, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. So it's in that effect where it's like allyship, the real allyship. What does that really look like? And she fell to the carrot that they dangle that we've seen all through time. You go to, and you've talked about the political fluidness of black people in the early 90s and why we went from Democrats to Republicans to Democrats. And we had a strong allyship in the Carolinas and in certain parts of the South when it came to political power in which we were amassing. And then you go to the 1900s all the way to the 1930s, and there's not a black person in Congress. So just shit like that. It's just shit like that. Where it's like, what did they dangle in front of your face for you to be like, nah? And then to burn up everything. Because y'all burnt up everything for about the red summers and shit like y'all burnt everything up, nigga. So what'd they dangle? Yeah. Cause as a movie, what's that shit called? What's the KKK movie? The Birth of Our Nation is not that good. That's a shitty movie. Rotten Tomatoes probably would have given that a 9% or some shit. Shit's ass.
Shit's trash.
Shit's absolute ass, bro. But anyways, keep going. What was you saying about Stack and Slim? Stack and
All right.
Smoke. My bad.
Smoke and Stack
Smoke Stack.
are Smoke and Stack are mirror images of each other, like yin and yang. You know what I mean? It's like represents almost balance in the movie. Like
Bling and blang, nigga.
Like one's like this, the other's like that. Even though they the same, they different at the same time. Like I don't know. I just one didn't fall to any other shit, and then it stems from back to the lust. Who Stack had been lusting out there after his life, and then who Smoke had in his corner for his life. You know what I mean? Just so it was he never had that temptation like Stack did. So just I don't know they just really mirrored each other, and they're twins in the movie. So I mean that was perfect for that.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know if you got anything on that.
nah, basically the whole point is if you're in an interracial relationship, she better have some soul, nigga, because that spirit ain't gone. If she only got a spirit, it's over now. I don't know. It's just funny for me being in a interracial relationship. I'm like, that means you get you a down ass white girl.
But for real,
Get you somebody who's down, nigga. Who's gonna turn on her family, nigga. Nah, it's oh shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. Nah, for real. It's all love.
this was said in the music. I said in the music. This was said in the movie that music is bridging the gap of the dead and the undead, the past and the present. And that's just real. That's like making timeless music. Like it's another level to it, bro. Like it's deeper than just, oh, that shit's lit. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, no, you can literally listen to this in 100 years and it's still gonna hit on something. Like
Just on the basis of anything, like if you were just creating anything and whatever it does, it still creates the same energy output to its environment as it did at any time in history, it makes it timeless. So like if Michael Jackson was played when it first came out and we still dance the same way they dance, if we still do the Thriller dance 1,000 years later, then what is that? It's not about the music. It's something deeper. You feel me? And that's why like people love music so much. That's why we love music so much. You know what I'm saying? That's the bond. It's just a bond. It's a bonding mechanism. We see it with the people. Why is Lady Gaga such a fan of, Beyonce and Miley Cyrus beefing with Nicki? Why does it mend so many things in so many ways type shit? So yeah, so that would be,
B5 said he's ready, by the way.
I send him the link.
I don't know if he know he got it.
What else you got?
Sam not listening to his dad about church and God, like he didn't heed the warnings basically. Like and just that just made me think about like how many times that like you had opportunities to get out of something you knew in your soul I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't do this, and you do it anyway and it happens exactly how you thought it was gonna happen. You just like I fucked up and I knew I
What's
was
it
about to
called?
fuck up and I still fucked up.
What's it called? Foresight, the ability to have foresight or whatever. It's like sometimes when you're in those situations, a spiritual foresight like manifests itself, and it's like, are you gonna ignore it or not? Type shit.
So I thought that was interesting because that could have been all avoided if he never went out that day and listened to his pops.
All right.
What up?
We can't. Can we hear him? We can't hear him. He's about to find a whole new set of buttons. Might give me a little roll your dicks. I went and worked out hard yesterday. Yes, sir. It's a hell of a workout, my guy.
Man, delivering for Amazon, goddamn it. That's yeah. That'd be kicking my ass some days. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'd be like, I need this shit though.
Tell me a nigga Eddie don't look sus.
It's kind of blurry.
You can see enough, nigga. Look at that nigga.
You talking about in the middle right there?
With the rose in his ear and the...
That one over there. See, yeah, like it's like pixelated.
Is it?
I can see the rose, but oh god, my god.
Let's see what we're gonna see what B5 think of it when he pop back over.
What album is that?
Comedy album. It's the one where he's talking. Bro, the first one's called
First, what is it? A fucking
It's a comedy.
music
It's a comedy album. It's a comedy album. You know, back in the day when that Richard Pryor and everybody's shit used to come on the record players and shit like that.
That's insane. That's the picture he chose?
If this is his joke, if this is his like trolling, he didn't do a good job, bro.
Yeah, it comes across actually like that's you.